What's up guys, it's Roguetier here and welcome to another amazing video on the channel. So we're hitting you with a double deck profile week, which is absolutely incredible thanks to the ban list, meaning we have a lot of decks to update. We got brand new deck profiles coming in the next week or two, so please do stick around for them. I don't just want to keep updating the decks I already have. I actually have gone out of my way and got on about 4 or 5 new decks, and they are all on the way. And I'm very, very happy and excited to show you guys those builds. Been doing a lot of testing. But for today, as you can see by the screen, we have the Evil Eye deck. This is a deck profile I actually released a couple months ago, and it didn't do as well as I thought it was going to do. I thought this was the brand new innovation of the format. That could be copium. I still think that this is in a great spot, this format. Yes, it lost double pot of prosperity. However, we have effectively replaced that, and I will show you why. If you guys are new around here, or if you've never heard of Evil Eye, make sure you subscribe and check out my combo tutorial, which should hopefully be linked in the description down below if I'm not lazy. And without any further ado, let's get straight into the deck profile. So starting off with the Evil Eye monsters, we of course have triple of Serziel, Watcher of the Evil Eye. Now she is a absolutely fantastic card and is the focal point of the deck. Why? Because on normal summon, she has the ability to add you any Evil Eye card from your deck to your hand. Not just monsters, not just spells and traps, either or, which is absolutely fantastic. If this card is equipped with Evil Eye of Selene, it also gains a really cool quick effect of being able to target one special summoned monster your opponent controls and destroying it. However, make sure you remember that if you do use this effect, this does have a maintenance cost, which once per turn during the next standby phase after this effect was activated, destroy one card you control. You may think, damn, maintenance, a card with maintenance in 2024 can't be that good. The maintenance, 9 times out of 10, actually helps you increase your advantage. Why? Because there's cards that you control that would like to be blown up, or for example, it won't be on the field long enough for the maintenance cost to actually take effect, as in you'll use the effect and then link it off either during your turn or during your opponent's turn, and then you won't have to pay the maintenance cost, which is absolutely fantastic. Also, Evil Eye of Selene, as you can see it's mentioned on this card, is an incredible piece of combo with this card. It basically makes this card indestructible by battle and card effects, and that it cannot be targeted. It also gains 500 attack every time its effect is activated, and that does include the maintenance cost, which means that with one activation of the pop, you get 1,000 attack, which is really, really cool. And yeah, really, really good consistency piece. And this deck is hyper consistent, guys. It's incredible. For the other Evil Eye monsters, we have double Basilius, Familiar of the Evil Eye. Now, all of the Evil Eye level 3 extenders serve the same type of summoning condition, which is you have to control an Evil Eye monster, which is where I'd say the main choke point of the deck is. If they find a way to negate and remove Serziel from the field, unless you have the quick effect monsters that can summon to the field while Serziel's still there, you're going to be out of gas. You're not going to be able to continue further. You're going to need to wait for the next turn, which in Yu-Gi-Oh means you're dead. So I play double Basilius because not only does it just special summon itself for free from the hand, it acts as a foolish burial, which you may think, wow, that's actually really good. And to be honest, it is. That's why I play 2. Why not 3? It's a hard once per turn on the special summon, and I think 2 is perfectly fine. You have 1 extra in case 1 gets banished or whatever, or you need to search another one. I don't think you need 3. Remember, you want to be seeing combo. You don't want to be clogging on all these level 3s. For the best level 3 extender, we have Basiltris, Familiar of the Evil Eye. Again, an absolutely incredible card. This card doesn't only special from the hand, but also does the graveyard as well, which means you can pitch it for cost and to gain card advantage, and then just summon it back from the graveyard on a quick effect, by the way, which is amazing. It does get banished when it leaves the field, but as you can probably guess by now, the fact we're playing so many level 3 monsters, we're going to be using it as Xyz material. And cards that are used for Xyz material aren't considered on the field anymore, meaning this card will go right back to the graveyard for you to use all over again. And that is how we basically have an infinite loop of level 3s in Evil Eye, which is incredible. It also has some really powerful effects during the opponent's turn. Being able to immediately after this effect resolves a link, summon an Evil Eye link monster using monsters you control as material. Note you don't need to use himself, which is absolutely insane. So really, really cool. And not only that, when you do, you can use Evil Eye equipped spells as the materials for the Link Summon. That is unheard of. I think this is the only card in the game that lets you use equip spells as material for Link Summons, which is absolutely incredible. And for the last extender, probably the worst one. You never want to open him in your hand. And if you do, you can send him to the grave for cost and get an advantage out of him. But he is sort of the opposite of the Basilius. He only special summons from the graveyard. So we have one from hand, one from graveyard, and one that summons from both. Those are the extenders we have. All of them are level 3 Dark Fiends. So, as I said, if you control an Evil Eye, he can just special summon himself from the graveyard to the field, but is banished when he leaves the field. Again, as Xyz material, he will go right back to the graveyard so we can use him again. And he has a effect that is actually pretty important, and a lot of Evil Eye players forget about this. You can target an Evil Eye spell trap you control once until the end of the next turn. The card cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. This is crucial because your Evil Eye, or Evil Eye of Cerziel, not Cerziel, your Evil Eye of Selene, apologies, gives your monsters insane protection. However, it doesn't have protection of its own. With this card, you essentially have to make it the opponent has to out it twice. Yes, it's only by destruction, meaning SP, is annoying. That means they have to commit to an SP. And that means they're not killing you. And that allows you to just combo again during the next turn. So, yeah, it's really, really cool. Lightning Storm won't destroy it. MST, Twin Twister, anything that would destroy face-up continuous will not, which is very beautiful. For these spells, another insane consistency card, we have Evil Eye Domain, Pareidolia. This is in the era where Konami gave every deck and their granny a field spell that on activation adds a Evil Eye monster or an archetypal card. And in this case, it's Pareidolia and it adds an Evil Eye monster on activation, which allows you to grab Cerziel, which then allows you to grab an insane power spell, which I will be showing you right after this. So this acts as insane consistency, and if you already have Cerziel, just grab a free extender. Doesn't hurt. It has some niche effects, apart from the activation one, which is once per turn during damage calculation, if a Evil Eye monster is attacked while Evil Eye of Selene is in your spell and trap zone, you can make the battle damage you take also become inflicted to your opponent. So you can essentially make your opponent take a bunch of damage when you crash into their massive monsters with your small extenders, which sometimes is enough for a game. I've won a game like that before, and it's actually pretty funny. The better effect of the three, in terms of, we have the activation one, which is amazing. We have the damage increase, or not the damage sharing ability, which isn't that great. We also have, if this card is in the field zone and is destroyed by a card effect, you can target an Evil Eye monster in your grave and add it to your hand. Note it doesn't say by your opponent, meaning that your maintenance cost of Cerziel, which is what I was saying before, can actually blow this card up, grabbing you an extender right back from the graveyard straight to your hand, which is really, really nice. For the main Evil Eye spell, we have Evil Eyes Unleashed. Now, before I tell you anything about this card does, let me just tell you this. This card sends 2 cards to the graveyard for cost. So even if they have an Ash Blossom, they can't use it. So just keep that in mind when I read this card, and then you'll see why this card is insane. So you send an Evil Eye monster and an Evil Eye spell trap from your deck to the graveyard. That is cost. And if it resolves, you add an Evil Eye equip spell from your deck to your hand. But for the rest of the turn, each time you activate a non-Evil Eye card or effect, you lose 500 life points. Incredible piece of support. I think the best piece of support I've seen in a long, long time. Incredible. Also has a second effect, which is arguably just as good. If you link summon an Evil Eye Link monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, equip 1 Evil Eye equip spell from your graveyard to 1 Evil Eye Link monster you control. At first you think, wow, that's pretty useless, because I'm going to be doing link summoning during my turn. I can just manually equip the equip spells, correct. But let's not forget the Basiltris effect to link summon during your opponent's turn. Meaning you link summon, banish this, equip your link monsters with Evil Eye of Selene, which then gives them their insane bonus effects, and you can immediately use them. So, incredible piece of support. Absolutely insane. I can't give this card enough praise. For the equip spells, obviously this is an equip spell deck, so we do need to play a couple. We play double Evil Eye of Gorgiano and 1 Evil Eye of Selene, the main equip spell. So why so little equip spells, you may wonder, in an equip deck? We don't ever want to draw them. If we draw 2 equip spells, for example, in our starting hand, our Evil Eyes Unleashed cannot resolve, which is very sad. So we don't want to play that many, because we never want to open them. So I think 2 Gorgiano and 1 Selene is fine. Evil Eye of Gorgiano counts as Evil Eye of Selene when on the field, so it's effectively 3 Evil Eye of Selene, but Evil Eye of Gorgiano has also some different effects. So Evil Eye of Gorgiano you can equip to a Evil Eye monster, and while it's in the spell trap zone, it counts itself as Evil Eye of Selene. And it gives you your monsters the difference in your life points, which is cool because you pay a lot of life points sometimes with this deck. Also, if this card is in the graveyard, you can banish this card and discard an Evil Eye card, meaning these are where your graveyard extenders are free because you just discard that for cost. Add an Evil Eye spell trap from your deck to your hand, except Evil Eye of Gorgiano. So incredible, more consistency, more searching, and just an incredible piece of support. Again, this is from Chaos Impact. Didn't come out in the original wave of Evil Eye support. Evil Eye of Selene did come out with the original wave and is the focal point of the equip spells. What does it do? Well, it can only be equipped to an Evil Eye monster. Would be pretty insane if it could be equipped to anything. It cannot be destroyed by battle. Your opponent cannot target it by card effects, and it cannot be destroyed by card effects, which is incredible. Also, when you activate your equip monster's effect, it gains 500 attack permanently, and you lose 500 life points. So that is pretty cool. It lets you get your monsters really, really big and be able to push for game in scenarios where you shouldn't really go for game. And if this card is in your graveyard, you can pay 1,000 life points, banish an Evil Eye spell trap from your graveyard, set this card. So it recycles itself as well. So we only ever really need the 1 copy. For the last Evil Eye spell that we play, we have 1 Evil Eye Awakening. Now, I see a lot of people not play this card, and I think that's wrong. Why? Because this is the only consistent way of getting a Evil Eye back onto the field if your Surgial is removed. Really, really useful. And it comes up all the time. It also just lets you get a free extender from the graveyard, or special one from your hand. Or if Evil Eye of Selene is on the field, you special one from the deck instead. This card is cracked. Only 1, as I said, because it's highly searchable via Surgial or via Gorgiano. So only need the 1. And of course, we play the archetypal counter trap that Konami was also in the mood of giving during this era of Yu-Gi-Oh! This doesn't negate monsters, which is sad, but it can negate any spell or trap as long as you have an Evil Eye monster. And if you have Evil Eye of Selene in the spell and trap zone, this card's activation and effect cannot be negated. So if Red Reboot ever comes back, unlucky, you cannot Red Reboot this. They cannot Solemn Judgment this, which is pretty nice. However, there's very, very niche scenarios where Retribution and a Solemn Judgment would be set on the field at the same time. But if it is, they can't use Solemn Judgment against this, which is really nice. So that's it for the Evil Eye part of the deck. It is 19 cards, which is pretty hefty, to be honest, for an engine. But what are we playing alongside it? Well, let's start off with the hand traps. We have Triple Ash Blossom. Again, this is fairly known at this point what this card does. I think it's just very good, and especially in a deck where you can just play so many. 1 Ash maybe isn't enough to end the turn, but an Ash and a hand trap and an extra hand trap or 2 is definitely enough. And in a deck that only needs 1 card to combo, and we have several ways of getting to that card, it is pretty nice. So that is why I play the Ash. We play triple of the Effect Veiler, non-once per turn effect negation. Same with the Infinite Impermanence as well, non-once per turn effect negation. Very good to draw as a 6th card. Imperm is the best hand trap that we play to draw as a 6th card. So just keep that in mind. Double of the Nibiru. This and an Effect Veiler is usually always game. The opponent sets up some sort of negation. They can't do Apo anymore. They can't do Barone. They can't do Savage. Nib and Veiler is always, because you can just Veiler the negation when they chain it to the Nibiru, and the Nibiru goes through, and you wipe their whole board. And of course the double Drolan Lockbird as well, because sometimes that's enough to end some decks, to be honest, just end their turn. Why are we playing so many different types of hand traps? Because we play triple Crossout Designator. In a deck that needs to resolve 1 card to effectively win the game going first, we need to protect it. So we play triple Crossout and 1 Call by the Grave. This is the maximum amount of protection that we can legally play in the TCG for hand traps, and that is why we are playing them. We have the 1 Pot of Prosperity, which did go from 3 to 1, which was a bit of a consistency hit, to be honest. But as I said, we've just supplemented it with more hand traps to effectively stop our opponent. We've also added an extra copy of the triple Tactics Talent. We were playing 0, now we play 1. So again, more hand trap punishment or draw power. There's not that much counter synergy here because we won't be seeing Pot of Prosperity as much, meaning we can draw 2 with talents more often. We have the 1 Terraforming, which acts as our 4th copy of the field spell. And then, of course, the spice. This is a Rogue Tier deck, so there's obviously spice. We have the one Fiendsmith Engraver straight from the Rogue Tier factory itself. Super secret Starlight Rare, as you can see. It's a proxy, yes, I know. I haven't got the card yet. The set hasn't even reached where I live yet, so that is how delayed we are, considering the set came out like 2 months ago. I'm still waiting for it to arrive. But this is the super secret tech of the Rogue Tier factory, the one Fiendsmith Engraver. That makes 40 cards. Obviously, Fiendsmith Engraver allows much more combo expression, as you can see from the combo tutorial that I posted a while back. But we only need the one because we're going to be summoning it from the deck. Let's move on now to the extra deck. Starting off with the extra deck, we have the one Zerasil, Ruler of the Evil Eye. This card is a Drident, but on crack. Link 3, which you may think, wow, that's pretty hard to make. Remember, we can use equip spells as link materials, so that's perfectly fine. What does it do? Well, if this card was link summoned with a monster with 2,600 or more attack, which usually is the case, it permanently has 2 attacks during the battle phase. And remember, this card will gain 500 attack each time it uses its effect. So it can get pretty big. You can get it to 4k and it just attacks twice. That's game, which is incredible. What's its effect? Well, quick effect. If this card is equipped with Evil Eye of Selene, target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. Just love it. Love it, love it, love it. Amazing. During the standby phase, after this effect was activated, negate the effects of one effect monster this card currently points to. No, it has an arrow forward. You can negate your opponent's cards as a maintenance cost, which is, again, I don't know what deck does that in Yu-Gi-Oh! Apart from this one. Incredible. We have the one Gorgon Empress of the Evil Eye, a Link 2. The Link 3 and the Link 2 are exactly the same to make because we're going to be using the Equip spell, a Cerzial, and the Basiltris. That can allow us to make the Link 2 or Link 3. It doesn't really matter. What does the Link 2 do? Well, it gains 100 attack for each Evil Eye card in the graveyard with a different name, which actually can be pretty substantial. And if this card is equipped with Evil Eye of Selene, quick effect, target one effect monster opponent controls and negate its effects. So we have the pop of any card and the negate of the monster effects, which is fantastic. During the next standby phase after this effect was activated, destroy one card this points to. Remember, has an arrow forward. You can destroy one card. You can destroy one monster that this card points to as a maintenance cost, which is incredible. One SP Little Knight. This card, I know is expensive. It's getting reprinted soon, guys. Don't worry. It's incredible in this deck because we have so many bodies and we can easily go into an SP Little Knight. Again, some super secret tech. Super secret Starlight Rare. Call this SSS rarity. We have the one Link 1. I forgot the name now of what it was, to be honest with you. But it's the Fiendsmith Link 1. And we only make this to special the Fiendsmith Engraver directly from the deck. That's pretty much all it does. It can equip itself from the graveyard to a Fiendsmith monster, which also comes up for our Necro Quip Princess plays, which we also do play. But yeah, card's incredible. Again, I'm going to be picking up these cards when the set actually gets to where I live. Come on, Konami, please. We have one full armored Dark Knight Lancer. Card's really good when it comes up. It doesn't come up in the traditional way. We don't play the armor package, as you can see. I used to play it, but I didn't like drawing the brick, which was the trap. We have different ways of getting into it now, which is incredible. Remember, this card can be summoned by using a rank 5 or 6 Xyz monster you control. Just keep that in mind. Gains 300 attack for each material and equip card it has. When this card becomes equipped, remember, not even when this card, when any card on the field, if an equip card becomes equipped to a monster you control, so you equip something to Cerzial, attach one monster opponent controls to this card as material. So you can see how this can get out of hand pretty quickly with some quick effect equips from the graveyard to monsters you control, triggering the full armored Dark Knight Lancer to non-targeting, just attach one monster your opponent controls to this card as material. We need to play this card, it's incredible. How do we play this card? Well, Digital Bug Korabage, people. Yes, a digital bug has made it into a deck in the year of 2024. I know, it's incredible. Rogue Tier has the secret saucy spice. It takes 2 or more level 5 light insect type monsters to make, but we're never going to make it that way because you can also Xyz summon this card by detaching 2 Xyz materials from a rank 3 or 4 insect type Xyz monster you control, which is our number 3 Cicada King, people. That is how we make Digital Bug Korabage, and that's how we go into full armored Dark Knight Lancer. This actually does have a okay effect, which is once per turn you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, target 1 defense position monster opponent controls, shuffle it into the deck. Once per turn, if a battle position of a monster on the field is changed, you can attach 1 insect type monster from your graveyard to this card as Xyz material. You may think, well, your opponent just won't put anything in defense. That is true. However, your Nibiru tokens are huge and can also be put in defense, allowing you easy removal of Nibiru tokens with your digital bug Korobage at the cost of 2 level 3s. Number 3, Cicada King. I know it's a proxy. I've been nice, guys. There's a picture up on screen. Don't at me too much. It's going to arrive. Dan the man has it. He has a copy for me. But until then, we'll go proxy. But what does number 3 Cicada King do? Well, 2 level 3s, and it can quick effect negate a monster effect on the field. That's essentially what it does. If the battle position of an insect is changed, it can, I believe, gain attack or do something else that's not very relevant. So, excuse me, I don't have the card, so it's very difficult to remember exactly what it does. We have the 1 Ashura King, 3 level 3s, OTK machine. Can attack 3 times during each battle phase because it has 3 materials. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles, it gains 200 attack permanently, meaning that when you make it, you attack, you attack, you attack, 2/7 attack permanently, which is amazing. Also, quick effect, you can detach a material from this card, negate the activation of a monster effect, and destroy that card, which is amazing. Spot removal, Phantom Knight of Breaksword, beautiful QCR, takes 2 level 3s, detach material from this card, target 1 card you control and 1 card your opponent controls, and destroy them. I love destroying field spells. My own field spell and 1 card my opponent controls. Destroy them. Then the field spell will be able to trigger, add me back Surzial, normal Surzial, and win the game. Melody the Brass Digin. Fiendsmith Requiem, the Link one, requires 1 Light Fiend. Our man takes 2 level 3s and is a Light Fiend himself. Meaning you make this, you go into Requiem, Requiem Summon Engraver, Requiem equipped to Engraver, Engraver to Necro equipped Princess, then you go Engraver Effect, shuffle back Requiem into the extra deck, 2 level 6s on the field, giving you access to your DD, Wave High King Caesar, all through the use of the Brass Digin. He has an effect of once per turn, detach an Xyz material, target a Digin monster you control, that monster can attack twice, you can target himself, cheeky 2/8 damage, sometimes comes up, I'm joking, it's never come up, but it could, 1 Zeus, Xyz base deck, essentially. We're obviously going to play Zeus. Once per turn, quick effect, sends the whole field to the grave. Cleans up games. Wave High King Caesar. He's the result of the Fiendsmith package. If we don't want to go into the Fiendsmith package because we respect Nibiru, or we don't have the cross out, we just go into the Bamboozling Gossip Shadow instead, at 4 summons, and you have Nib, you're never going to get a chance to use it now. But yeah, the High Wave King Caesar negates a card that would special summon a monster. Not once per turn, you can do that twice, which is incredible. Spell Trap, monster effect that activates to special summon something, negate and destroy. Incredible. Bamboozling, 2 level 3s, quick effect, can change the effect of a monster to both players draw 1 card, which is pretty nice if you hit an opponent's crucial monster effect. Really cool. It also has the effect to target another Xyz monster and equip it, which can come up for Zeus plays. Last card to win in time, we have the Battle Cruiser Dianthus. 3 level 3s, detach 1 Xyz material from this card, inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each card in their hand. If they have 5, you inflict 1,000. Pass the turn, you win in time. If you get very good with this deck and you don't play into time, you can take out the Battle Cruiser and play the Typhon instead. The Typhon comes up a bunch, to be honest with you, but I can't really find anything else to cut, as everything else just comes up a bit more. But that is the end of this Evil Eye deck profile. I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know in the comments how spicy this list was. Don't lie, you've never seen an Evil Eye list this spicy until now. Let me get the key cards onto the screen for you guys, the Link 3 and Surzial. But yeah, as I said, if you learned something in this video, or you are excited now to test out your Evil Eye deck, please do subscribe and let me know in the comments down below. If I have directed you to this video, let me know what you think of the quality of it. I think right now I'm on 30 FPS, which I'm looking to upgrade to 60. I just need to obviously pay a premium fee on the app I'm using. But I think 30 FPS is pretty manageable. I think the microphone is okay. Let me know if it cuts out a bit too much. But it should be okay. I've been tinkering with the settings. But as I said, thank you very much for 3,000 subscribers. You guys are insane. And I'll see you all in the next video.
It's time! Let's go!